The colors he was afraid to lose. Everyone in the city admired Adrian Blackwood. They admired his fortune. His mansion of white stone standing proudly above the sea. His vineyard stretching across green hills. The library filled with first editions. The grand ballroom where music had not played in years. People called him lucky. But Adrian often thought luck was overrated. Because wealth could buy comfort. It could buy respect. It could buy silence. And Adrian had more silence than he could bear. Except for one person. Lucas Hart. 23 years earlier, Adrian found Lucas sleeping in the greenhouse. Snow covered the glass roof. The boy was curled beneath an old blanket, shivering. Beside him lay a worn leather bag. Adrian expected stolen goods. Instead, he found charcoal sketches. Dozens of them. An old woman smiling through tears. A stray dog curled beneath rain-soaked newspapers. A field of wheat bending beneath the wind. And one drawing that made Adrian stop breathing. It was the greenhouse. Not as it looked. As it felt. Lonely. Beautiful. Waiting. Adrian stared at the boy. "You drew this?" Lucas nodded nervously. "Sorry. Sorry." Adrian frowned. "Why are you apologizing?" Lucas shrugged. "My father said drawing is useless." Adrian looked again at the sketches. "No." His voice became softer. "This is many things." He closed the sketchbook. "But useless isn't one of them." Lucas stayed. At first only for winter. Then spring came. Then summer. And somehow. Years passed. Officially, Lucas was a servant. He polished silver. Prepared tea. Managed deliveries. Accompanied Adrian during travels. But that word. Servant. Never felt right. Because Adrian trusted him with things he trusted no one else. His schedules. His finances. His health. His grief. Adrian had once been engaged. Long ago. She died suddenly from illness. And after that. He changed. He stopped hosting parties. Stopped laughing loudly. Stopped dreaming. The mansion slowly grew quiet. Until Lucas filled it with life. Every morning Lucas brought coffee to Adrian's study. Every evening they dined together. At first Adrian insisted Lucas eat separately. Lucas obeyed. For exactly 3 days. On the 4th evening Adrian looked toward the empty seat opposite him. The silence felt unbearable. So he rang the bell. Lucas appeared. "Yes, sir." Adrian gestured awkwardly. "Sit." Lucas blinked. "What?" "Sit. I'm a servant. And I'm tired of eating alone." Lucas stared. "You mean? Don't make me repeat myself." Lucas slowly sat. Neither touched the food. Both felt strangely nervous. Finally Lucas smiled. "This is against etiquette." Adrian shrugged. "I own the etiquette." Lucas burst out laughing. And Adrian, to his own surprise, laughed too. That became their tradition. Dinner together. Every evening. For 20 years. And always. Painting. Lucas painted endlessly. In the attic. In the gardens. Near the sea. At sunrise. At midnight. Adrian quietly supplied everything. The best canvases. Rare pigments. Imported brushes. Even books about art history. Lucas protested constantly. "You spend too much on me." Adrian never looked up from his newspaper. "I spend more on wine." "I'm serious." "So am I." I'll never repay you. Adrian folded the paper. His expression suddenly serious. I never asked you to. Lucas looked away. Because somehow. That answer hurt more. Adrian loved Lucas's paintings. But he hid them. From guests. From critics. From everyone. He claimed it was privacy. It wasn't. It was fear. Late at night he climbed to the attic alone. Sometimes Lucas had fallen asleep in the chair. Brush still in hand. Paint drying on his fingers. Adrian would quietly drape a blanket over his shoulders. Then look around. Every painting amazed him. And frightened him. Because genius never stays hidden forever. One painting haunted Adrian. It showed himself. Sitting alone in the library. Rain outside. Fireplace burning. An empty chair opposite him. The title. Waiting for someone to stay. Adrian stared at it for a long time. Then whispered. You idiot. Lucas looked up from another canvas. What? Adrian pointed. You painted me too lonely. Lucas smiled softly. You were. Adrian wanted to argue. But he couldn't. Because Lucas was the reason the second chair was no longer empty. Years passed. Lucas became better. Much better. Too good. Adrian knew it. And feared it. One evening Lucas found Adrian sitting alone in the gallery room. A room hidden behind the library. No guest had ever entered. The walls were covered entirely with Lucas's paintings. Hundreds of them. Lucas froze. You kept them all. Adrian looked embarrassed. Perhaps. Adrian. His voice shook. You built a gallery. It's nothing. It's everything. Adrian stood abruptly. Don't be dramatic. Lucas slowly walked around the room. Every year of his life hung on those walls. Every dream. Every sorrow. Every joy. Adrian had preserved them all. Without telling him. Lucas turned around. His eyes were wet. You always believed in me. Adrian suddenly looked angry. That's the problem. What? I believe in you too much. Silence. Adrian walked toward the window. Hands clasped behind his back. If people see these. He stopped. Lucas quietly finished. They'll want them. Yes. And I'll become famous. Yes. Lucas swallowed. And you'll lose me. Adrian closed his eyes. For a moment. He looked very old. Yes. Lucas's heart broke. Because Adrian said it so quietly. Like a man admitting his greatest fear. 3 months later. Adrian announced the opening of an art gallery. The city went mad. Journalists speculated. Businessmen competed for invitations. Nobody expected the truth. The grand opening was magnificent. Crystal chandeliers. Live orchestra. Champagne fountains. Fresh roses everywhere. More than 300 guests. Lucas felt sick. You can still cancel, he whispered. Adrian adjusted his cuffs. No. You hate parties. I do. You hate journalists. I despise them. Lucas stared. Then why? Adrian smiled sadly. Because loving someone means wanting their happiness. He paused. Even saying the next words hurt. Even when you're afraid it won't include you. Lucas nearly cried. Instead he hugged him. Tightly. For the first time in 20 years. Adrian froze. Then slowly returned the embrace. Neither spoke. Neither needed to. The exhibition became legendary. Collectors fought over paintings. Critics called Lucas a genius. His work sold for astonishing amounts. Thousands. Then hundreds of thousands. Then millions. Suddenly Lucas Hart was wealthy. More wealthy than he ever imagined. But Adrian became quieter. Every newspaper article felt like a countdown. Every sold painting felt like goodbye. One rainy evening Lucas entered the study. Adrian sat alone. Staring at the fireplace. Not reading. Not working. Just staring. Lucas closed the door. "I have news." Adrian smiled weakly. "I know. I'm resigning." The words hit exactly as Adrian feared. "Still." He nodded. "Of course." Lucas waited. Nothing else. No protest. No anger. Just sadness. Deep. Quiet sadness. Adrian stood. Walked to the window. "You deserve freedom." Lucas frowned. Adrian kept speaking. "I always knew this day would come." His voice trembled slightly. "I just hoped I'd be braver." Lucas suddenly understood. For 20 years Adrian had feared this moment. Every canvas purchased. Every brush. Every lesson. Every sacrifice. He had been preparing Lucas to leave. Even though it terrified him. Lucas walked closer. "I bought a house." Adrian nodded. "Wonderful." "I bought another in Italy." "Excellent." "And a studio in Paris." Adrian smiled. "You always loved Paris." Lucas stepped beside him. "And I hate all of them." Adrian blinked. "What?" Lucas laughed. "I don't sleep there." "You don't?" "I always come home." Adrian slowly turned. Lucas smiled. "I'm not your servant anymore." Adrian nodded sadly. "I know. But..." Lucas took a deep breath. "I'm still your family." Adrian stared at him. Unable to speak. "I spent half my life here," Lucas continued. "You gave me dignity. You gave me confidence. You taught me kindness." His voice broke. "You looked at a starving boy and saw an artist." Tears finally appeared in Adrian's eyes. "Rare. Precious." "I was selfish," Adrian whispered. "No. You were." Lucas shook his head. "You were brave." Adrian laughed softly through tears. "You're richer than me now." Lucas grinned. "By a little." "I hate that." "You'll survive." Adrian rolled his eyes. And suddenly, for the first time in months, he laughed. Really laughed. Years later visitors still asked Lucas. "Why do you live here? You own mansions. You could live anywhere." Lucas would smile. Then look toward the garden. Adrian sat there almost every afternoon. Older now. Hair silver. Reading books beneath the chestnut trees. Never alone. Lucas always answered the same way. "Because this house saved my life." Then he would smile more softly. "And because sometimes." He glanced toward Adrian. "The person who believes in your dreams becomes part of the dream itself. And no amount of money. No fame. No masterpiece ever painted. Could be more valuable than that."